Go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jim Vernon.
I'm Laura Sherrick, and Jim and I worked very hard on the I team for the My Academic Plan to get this in place as part of the Pathways work. We want to thank at the beginning everyone who had an impact on this process. We had virtually every single faculty member involved in this at some point. We had every advisor involved in this at some point, as well as many, many other people across the college that helped this process and this part of the Pathways work get completed. So thank you all very much for your hard work. This is what, before we had maps, this is what a student would be given as a degree sheet. This is an example from an AA in psychology. And these were incredibly complicated. We actually, a couple of psychology faculty at Westminster tried to figure this out and simplify it, and we could not figure it out. We needed advisors' help to correct us several times along the way. And we also did some surveys with students, and students said that the degree sheets were confusing, overwhelming, hard to read, and so on and so forth. So this is what we had prior to our work on the maps across the college. And this is now what a student will see in Navigate. So when a student goes into Navigate, now they clearly see what courses they need to take and where they are in terms of whether or not they have completed the class, whether they need to take the class in the future, or they're in progress with the class. Much, much more simplified and easier for students to understand.
We want to talk a little bit about the work that we were involved in that made this transformation. We formed the I team in the fall of 2015, and in the spring of 2016, we used the mantra "Maps by May" to lead to the drafting of maps for nearly every degree and certificate program. As Laura mentioned earlier, 130 plus faculty members participated, every faculty member and virtually every advisor. We also had 28 chairs, all the instructional deans, and 20 plus consultants supporting this process, which continued into 2017 and into the fall as well, to the point where this really the rest of the work, and we want to acknowledge that while MAPS was an important effort, it was one of 5 I teams. And so all of those have had an impact, and to the point where maps are now a normal part of the maps catalog process now and routinely updated every year. So now we want to talk a little bit about impact. Laura?
And this slide shows the average hours at graduation for students in the year, the academic year of 2017 is in the gold orange, and the gray is academic year 21. And you can see for the AAs across all the academic areas that we have reduced the number of credit hours that students take from a minimum of 1 class to all the way up to almost 2 classes. So students are getting their degrees with fewer hours at graduation, which is huge. A class or 2, 6 hours, that's a lot of time and money that students were expending that was not necessary for the degree prior to the Pathways work.
And we can look at this impact in a slightly different way. If we look at the number of hours that students have as they complete the associate's degree, you can see again, the gold yellow bars are representing academic year 2017 and the gray bars academic year 21. So the number of students graduating with exactly 60 credits has increased from 11 to 14% of all graduates. And the number graduating with 61 to 65 has increased from 16 to 26%. You see over to the right, though, the numbers with greater than 80 have come down quite a bit, from 30% of graduates to 20%. And again, from 76 to 80, also decreasing, and 71 to 75. So we've really tackled the excess credit problem here by reducing it at its biggest impact, which is to the right. And then one final measure of impact we have to present considers completion. So these aren't the same as the published completion rates, but these are the number of completions divided by unduplicated enrollment. And you can see that the percentage has increased from 10% in 2011 to 17% in 2021. And this is during a time of declining enrollment where the number of graduates has increased by 68% and the number of transfer graduates more than doubled. So this is, we're very happy to see this kind of impact. When we started the Pathways Initiative, President Dorsey talked about moving the needle, and we think we've shown that we have moved the needle in some very significant ways. We do have a little bit more information in this presentation if you want to view it, but we're not going to present it. So we want to just stop here and again, thank everyone for all of the work and effort that went into creating maps and for all the effort that continues to this day to keep maps moving forward.
Thank you all for all your hard work. And we also want to thank the office who has taken over the maps and has created a new process. So not only do we have maps, but we have the process in place for keeping them current. And so we just want to thank everyone for the work that went into this portion of the Pathways initiatives.